And then you start the process of negotiating with the other teams, figuring out game times, maneuvering off days, thinking about travel, all the different things. You speak to your ballpark events team to see what dates may be reserved the following year, yada, yada, yada. Cut to, by August, the full schedule is ready to go, and we're still in the middle of this season. Couple things about Major League Baseball's schedule that were very interesting is I remind you that next year is the final year of this collective bargaining agreement. At the end of next season, at the end of December of 2026, the current CBA expires and we enter into a work stoppage if there's not a new CBA signed. We're operating, Dollar, Coca, they're operating under the current CBA, where inside that CBA, there are rules and regulations about the calendar, when games have to start, travel issues, international games, all sorts of things are codified in the CBA. And for 2027, which will be a new CBA, there will be new rules and regulations about the schedule. It's not going to be expansion by then. It won't be a reduced schedule from 162 by then, but there will be things in there about international games and all the other specialty games and times, etc. But that's not going to be negotiated in time for the normal schedule release next year, because there is no chance in the world that a new CBA will be announced by next August 26th. It's simply, or today's the 27th, excuse me. It's simply not going to happen. We are live, I promise. So how will they do that? So what the league does is they put together a provisional schedule, and they'll do that for 27, assuming the same rules as 26, knowing they're going to have to screw around given either new rules that are part of a new CBA or a shortened season because of a work stoppage where they have to throw out the schedule. Remember the last CBA, Coca, where the season started late and they extended it by a week. The World Series went into November in 2022. And what they did is they moved the first series or two that was missed, and they just moved it to the end of the season. You may or may not remember that, but that was a relatively easy fix. If you have more games missed or there's no new deal until April and you have to have a condensed spring training and then a shortened season, everything gets screwed up. So the whole schedule is this puzzle of insanity that in 2026 was made worse by a couple of things. One, the World Cup is in North America, not the World Baseball Classic. We'll get to that. FIFA's World Cup is being played in certain major league cities, and the Major League Baseball schedule had to accommodate that. So there's certain quirks in the schedule that you'll notice if you're Seattle, etc., that you've got weird off days, and that's all World Cup related. Secondly, they found a way to do a deal. Back in 2012, when Marlins Park opened, we opened the season against the St. Louis Cardinals on April 4th, 2012 at 7:05 p.m. That was the first game at Marlins Park, and that was the only game on the schedule. The season started the next day, but we got opening night, national TV on our own. Here we are, roughly 14 seasons later. And there will be a national game the first night of the season, but it's not April 4th. It's March 25th. That's right. In only 210 days, which is nothing. We can't even say it's next year. You have to say next season because it's not a year. 210 days from today, next season opens, with the Yankees going to San Francisco to start their season with a West Coast trip against San Francisco and Seattle. Now, in theory, San Francisco may be better next year, may not. They're the worst team in baseball since they got Devers. Maybe that'll continue if they keep Devers, but it's still tough to open on the West Coast. Your spring training in Tampa, then you schlep to the West Coast. Some of the players will have been playing in the World Baseball Classic. It's going to be a very fractured spring training. Everybody else opens the next day on March 26th. and that will be after the World Baseball Classic. We are going to get really cool baseball starting on March 5th, which is 22 days before the opener, which, if you're doing your math quickly, that's 188 days from now, the World Baseball Classic starts. Will we have Ohtani face Trout to end the World Baseball Classic with Japan defending its title? I doubt it, because to do that, you'd need to have Mike Trout on Team USA. Will he be on Team USA? Wait to see. But the 2026 World Baseball Classic tournament with Mark DeRosa managing, Michael Hill as the GM of Team USA, all sorts of interesting people are pitching coaches and hitting coaches and managers and GMs of teams around the world. It's going to be a great tournament. So that starts the season for real, sort of the excitement of baseball, which then means spring training opens earlier. So wait for it. Spring training, some teams will report, all teams will report early February, not mid-February. The second thing I noticed, and I've got to take a non-victory lap here, because everything points to Las Vegas ballpark opening on time and over budget for 2028. I am very, very thrilled for the people in Las Vegas who I know and love. They are going to have a baseball team, and it's going to be the Aths, and they're going to get a sneak preview next season, June 8th to June 14th. The Aths are going to Vegas. If you're the Milwaukee Brewers and the Colorado Rockies, you are loving life, because instead of going to Sacramento for your series against Oakland, you get to go to Vegas, baby. Let's go. The players, I'm sure, are thrilled, both the Aths players. I wonder whether Severino's happy. I wonder whether Severino will even be on the team. But in any case, 6 games in Vegas that they'll play at the AAA park where the Aviators play. And the question is, will that build excitement and get season tickets going? Well, the only thing I know is that next year, and it's going to happen again in 27, no matter what happens in the CBA, you can bet your sweet bipsters that the Aths will be playing games in Vegas in the summer of 27 as well, if there's baseball. It's all part of the soft launch of having that team move to Vegas. And I did not think it would happen. I still haven't seen the financing for the ballpark. I still can't figure out how you get a ballpark on 9 acres. I truly can't. All of that said, there's rebar, baby, and the president of the Aths says everything's going great. So I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to say awesome. I can't wait to go to that ballpark. I've told you stories, many of them, about 9/11. It's hard to imagine it's been 25 years. Baseball, like it did on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, is having the Yankees and Mets play on the 25th anniversary of 9/11. There's something it's for 18% of you, and you weren't around, but I'll tell you that there's nothing that's been a part of my life that I've been alive for, or at least aware of, like 9/11. And the fact that baseball continues to celebrate it, and the role that baseball played in the recovery from 9/11 cannot be overstated at all. And having the Yankees and Mets go on 9/11 is fantastic, and just a great tribute and honor to those lives lost and the millions of lives that are impacted and continue to be impacted by 9/11. There will be international games not announced, but look for the Padres and Diamondbacks to go international. And I close this little schedule bit with our favorite team down in St. Petersburg. You think I forgot about the Trop? You think I forgot about my wait to see that there won't be another game at the Trop, knowing that I'm likely going to lose that wait to see because next year's schedule came out and the Rays said, put us on the road again. Not like this year where you had us play at home the first half of the year because we're playing outdoors where the Yankees have spring training while the Trop gets restored. Well, the Yankees are an absolute no to host the Rays next season. And so baseball is praying that St. Petersburg will get the Trop restored. It's why you see updates, and part of the roof has been put back, and they're really trying to get done. But Tampa said, hey, put us on the road to start. And MLB said, no problem. How about a 9-game road trip to start your season? And the reason I laughed is that people in the media And fans are writing, oh, that's the extra time that Tampa needed to make sure the Trop is ready. When you've got a stadium project, 9 days, it matters. It sounds so counterintuitive. Like, what would 9 days mean in a 36-month construction timeline or in a 12-month Trop restoration timeline? You'd be shocked how much 9 days matters. And MLB granted that wish, and the Rays will start on the road and then come back to the Trop. I am not, Coca, taking the loss on the way to see until such time as the Rays play at the Trop.